ecstasy. No one else, it seems, could make me care. What is left is just a memory that's so empty and so unfair. Melody, I'll write another melody, and this time from the start you'll see I'll write it from the heart, and words that say come to me, stay with me. Won't you stay with me? No one else could fill my life with ecstasy. No one else, it seems, could make me care. What is left is just a memory that's so empty and so unfair. Melody, I'll write another melody, and this time from the start you'll see I'll write it from the heart, and words that say come to me, words that say come to me, stay with me. Won't you stay with me? Stay with me.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe and a beautiful
Wednesday, home
Wednesday. I almost said
day.
Thursday. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon. That would be Josh in
On the
back.
board. What you looking for?
That's what I said. Flush the week away.
I gotta tell you,
Josh, you know, you shouldn't take sounds when you go to the bathroom and then put them on the air.
it's like what I
People get a
told you
little nervous.
yesterday.
You told me when it
50
was you?
people in here in one bathroom.
Yeah.
I had to go find a tree outside.
You know, it's funny. It's funny. When we first came here, we talked about there be... Is that water? There'd be one bathroom. That hasn't changed.
We just have
We've
more
been here
people.
3 years?
3.5,
Three and a
yeah.
half years. And there's still one bathroom. And now, because you saw more people come into studio, what are you going to do when there's 150 people in?
Get a porta potty. They make pretty ones. Have you seen the nice ones? Like if you go up to the Polo Club, they've got nice ones. They look like they're permanent structures. Because they said there's no room to build another bathroom here, which means the tree outside or I build a pretty porta potty.
Let me explain something to you, Lucy. a porta potty in the sun begins to shoot out
No, they
methane
have
gas.
nicer ones where it's not the same.
Listen.
Have you been to the Polo Grounds up in Wellington?
Yes, I've been to the Polo Grounds when the
That's
Giants
what
were playing.
that's what they
in
do.
New
They're
York.
really nice.
Frank
They're
knows
like
what I'm talking about.
trailers.
They're not really nice.
They even
They're
have
not
a
really
bathroom
nice.
attendant.
No, they smell after 6 hours in the sun. But you'll be able to use it, right? I can only see that. Everybody out the door.
Can you
make
even
a left.
imagine?
That's what
Do
you
you know
do.
what? Remember that happened on that Friday night when we had a toilet clog? We had a guest in here who shall remain nameless on a Friday at the end of the day. And next thing we knew, nothing was opening.
I couldn't get that
The
thing
clog.
to go down. Yeah.
Hot water, hot coffee, liquid plumber, plungers,
Bottles of liquid plumber.
nothing. And it was okay for the first hour. And then it became 2. And then the kids found, I don't know, a porta potty down around the corner in some automotive place.
Everybody went over there. So we were taking the guests and saying, go to the corner, make a left, and keep going. It'll be on your left-hand side.
Even Katie went over there. I could not, that was desperation.
Everybody went. I didn't go. I said no. And the plumber finally came and fixed it.
With that noisy, I guess that was a snake.
So Dawn's resolution to this
Call a
problem
plumber.
is she puts up a little sign. Please do not, Freddie and Dawn. Not Dawn, Freddie and Dawn. So you're not allowed to throw paper towels in the toilet.
Can't throw paper towels. Can't
Not
throw,
this toilet, because it's a
You can't throw
2-inch pipe,
feminine
3-inch pipe.
hygiene things down the
What
toilet.
the hell is that?
You've had a
Women
wife for a
don't
long
do that.
time.
No, she never did that. She ever did that, forget about it. If I ever found that she did that. Women do that?
They think toilets take everything, and they don't. So,
Those things turn into clouds.
yes,
You put one in, whoop,
puffy, fluffy clouds. Yes.
and then I have to fish it out.
You were so good about doing that. And Gio was here in the plunger, and it was like, oh
Gia
my
says,
God.
Dad, wear gloves. I said, wear gloves? Give me a plastic suit and a mask and a helmet.
See, all this because Josh played a sound effect. You and I are so unscripted.
No,
we can
that's
talk
because
about,
Josh, he's giving me the signal.
we can talk about anything,
saying the
anywhere.
The toilet is clogged.
Someone asked me today if we scripted. It's like, we don't script
Yes,
anything,
we do. We
clearly.
spend many hours scripting this crap. I mean,
No
this
pun
toilet.
intended. Anyway, happy Wednesday, everyone. We're really excited. I have to tell you, this looks really nice. This is a picture with a free giveaway for the brand new book by Frank A. Ruffalo. Editor is in the house also. Operation Retribution.
Look
2
at-
free gifts with purchase,
Look at all
actually.
these things you get. You buy this book for $15. Call in right now, and you get all this stuff. You get the painting. You get 2 tickets to the movies of Del Rey. And they got Wick 4 coming out. You get this thing, which we had to ask
What's
him
coming
about.
out?
John Wick 4.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about this book.
And we're going to talk about this because he sprung this on me. He only has 3 of these, right? 3?
Yeah, there's only 3.
So you get one of these.
Well,
So
supplies.
supply last. I get 3 phone calls. Supply is over. Right? What if 3 people call at the same time when they want this book? You have 3 of
I
these?
can get more. I have more. I have more in the car, but not that many.
Okay, so we can
You
get
can
more.
get
And
more.
you can get it also signed by the author himself.
We've got
So you get
Frank
this.
in the house.
And I got to tell you something. The guy on the cover is Kenny Magchop.
Do you know how we got his name?
Yes. He talked about it on Friday.
Did he?
Do you know what Magchop means?
No idea.
He chops up magazines and makes paintings, right? You
Yeah,
know.
he's a collage artist.
Ah,
Collage
interesting.
artist. Now, when I was in junior high school, I did that. Nobody called me an artist. I used to put paper, what do they call paper mache with the flour and the water, and you put it together. It became like a glue,
Yep.
and you put it out so that it would turn like a rock. Well, he does it for a living, and he sells it. $800 a canvas. I'm gonna tell you something. People will call me in to buy his paintings, but this is him, and he made this for you, right?
Yeah, because I based 2 of the characters in the book are based on him and his wife and his business. I've changed names to protect the innocent, and I asked him to do the cover since he's in the book, and he said sure. So that's why he's there.
Now I gotta ask you, this book. How long have you known Kenny?
Oh man, over 10 years.
Do you know Kenny's a superstar? Everybody knows Kenny.
Yeah.
football players, basketball players. He's been in the movies, right? He's
Yeah,
been
in the movie.
all over the place. When did you decide? Now, this is the latest book you did.
Right. I wrote that book a few years ago. And I decided to. I made the story. The story starts out with an assassination at a fashion show. Kenny does fashion shows because he does fashion. He puts his collage work on bathing suits and other sportswear. So I used his character, and Kenny gets shot in the first chapter of the book as collateral damage. And
Does he make it?
yeah, he makes it.
You just
His
gave away the
models
book.
don't, but he makes it.
This is unbelievable. And then Kenny's going to be here Friday. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Frank is going to be on the Sixth Borough. That show airs on Friday, 6:30 to 8:30. And the cast of characters that are being here that night as well are going to be asking you all about the book and everything else. Are we going to be making that same offer on Friday night?
If there's books
there's
left
still
over and
books
the
left
paint's
over?
there, yeah, sure.
All right, so be
So
the
you know
first.
what?
Be the first, actually.
Yeah,
give us a call.
call. Somebody call us. Let's get this stuff done. That way,
Let's be the first. It's the Ides of March. Let's make it a positive day. 888-994-4995, Studio A. Be the first to purchase this brand new book in the latest Jack
And I
Stenhouse
signed the back of the
series.
painting, too.
no, yes, he did.
Yes, you did. Although it's looking really nice on the set. But yes, we will relinquish the painting as a free gift with
Did
purchase.
you make this painting too?
I made that painting.
Yes.
This guy's like a jack of all trades. Didn't you say there was a free pair of sneakers, Converse, to go with this too?
And this book
You
as well.
can do whatever you want. It's out of your pocket. That's
And
fine
then
with
this
me.
is a lot also. And this book too.
I'm gonna use Josh's Converse.
What's in this book, Frank?
I published a short story in that book called Xantha New Year. It's an extension. It's based on the
Xantha Terror?
Xantha Terror. Just another.
What's
story.
Zampatera? What is that?
Xantha Terror is my third book in the sci-fi series where a monster is released on Mars after we have terraformed it.
So this is the third book to that series?
Now, this is a short story based on the city of Xantha, where a detective is going to investigate a murder of an AI.
Got it.
And it's signed. So free
And
gift
it's
with
signed. I
purchase.
signed the story. Yeah.
Call in now, 888-994-4995, Studio A. A whole lot going on with this one book purchase.
You seem to have a lot of stuff going on.
I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm more busier now than when I was working.
So you're not even retired, you just changed a career.
I just changed.
People say that happens when you actually find what you're supposed to do in life, your purpose, that you get a chance to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I just changed. Now I'm a vice president of a nonprofit. I'm a screenwriter, pushing some movies to be put on screen. We're researching now to do a major fundraiser here in South Florida. I'm busy.
We met someone last week. I don't know if you have his card that you wanted to introduce Frank to for the
He
Florida
did not
Arts
have a
Network.
card.
Okay.
He's in the union. I don't know. I got to talk to Frank off air because it's I don't know. The unions want to get back into Florida. And the problem with the unions, this is a non-union state and yada, yada, yada. And he's determined and you know how that goes. But, I mean, the guy you had to scream because it was so loud when we were at this event. So I don't know if that was his anger or just him screaming. But I said, boy, I wish Frank was here. Because it would have resolved me having to listen to that for the longest. I just know battles. You got to sort of pick your battles. Just getting the movies back into Florida is a battle for the different reasons that Atlanta, Georgia,
It's
and
a battle.
everybody else. And the brothers, those two brothers who have all that money. And we all know the real story about what's going on in the movie industry. And then if you include the unions, it becomes even more complicated.
Yeah, it becomes
Very complicated.
another
anyway.
layer on a cake.
Yeah, and again, that's why I didn't entertain that whole craziness.
Why don't we take a commercial break? When we come back, let's find out what's happening in the world of arts and entertainment and movie making. See where the Florida Arts Network is going to be maybe holding their next event. They're going to be judging, and we've got a longtime friend, new guest to the cafe right here, Diana Algadia. I was close. You're supposed to
It's
know
all,
that
all
one.
Diana to me.
Diana, stay tuned. A chronic healer, and we'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
Are you compromising your medical care for doctors out of your network? Are you tired of dealing with referrals to see a specialist? Are you aware that you can save up to $155 a month on your Medicare premiums? You need an all-in-one benefits company that can help with all of your Medicare plan needs. Call today, All-in-One Benefits Group at 954-614-5488. We're here to find an all-in-one plan for you. 954-614-5488. Call today for open enrollment.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Ant Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
You've been watching The Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Now that is the proper way of doing the
We
opening.
aim to please.
And that is the proper way.
It's hump day.
And he plays that longer than he does the applause. You ever notice?
Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Josh on the Board. Yes, the podcast piece seems to be working. I've been getting so many phone calls from people I've known for 30 years. You do podcasts? Can we do a podcast? Can we talk about a podcast? Even Chuck says, do you do a podcast? I said, excuse me? Do you know what I do for a living?
He doesn't even know who you are. He says, what is your name
he
again?
says, you do podcasts? You gotta be kidding
Been married
me.
over 30 years, and you don't know what he does. And it's funny because I just got the Kevin the Sign Man is coming on Tuesday to put in the podcast sign, and I'm ready to transform Studio A. And yes, we do podcasting. Come on down. I'm going to show you what VIP podcasting is all about. You get a waiter or waitress, whatever you desire. You get a
Really?
little wine, a little something, something. Yeah, really.
You get to choose?
You get to choose. Well, you get to pick the choice of the day because if it's
It's either
Baxton
you or me,
or-
or Baxton.
or Bailey,
or
one or the
Karen,
other, depending
one
on
or the
who's
other.
here, is going to be taking care of that. But yes, we will do your podcast here. And as always, you can catch our show on, that was my knife, on
Spotify.
Spotify.
What'd you do? Cut your pants with your
Yes,
knife? Your
yes.
pockets are that
Moving
deep?
on. No, my knife. I took it out. and went like
CC,
this.
Triple C,
All
how
right.
you doing? You cut your pants with your knife?
Okay, can we stay on the show? Yes, I cut my pants with the knife. Relax, okay? You see? You're driving me insane, that's why.
I want to ask Karen. Karen got to interview Frank today, and I thought Christine was going to be on the show, but apparently she watches. And I was wondering how she got so
Christine,
lucky
no,
to
she
do those
hides.
shows. I was wondering how Karen would get so lucky to have Christine on the show, and Christine says, no, it was, she gets to watch. Tell us how the interview went with Frank on Retribution, Operation Retribution.
The interview went really good. We talked about his latest book, Operation Retribution. Frank just published it last week, and we said on the Latin Hustle that we're giving away that painting from Frank, the movie tickets, and the small short stories book, along with their purchase of Operation Retribution, which they can find here in the studio or on Amazon.com. And yeah, it's a Jack Stenhouse mystery continuation, and Frank was letting me know one of the prior characters is brought back into life into this book, so it's really interesting. It's full of action, and it's
Frank, is it a standalone, or do they have to read the others in the series?
Well, they'll get a better idea. You can read that standalone, but it sort of resurrects the bad guy from the previous book. But that's a standalone. You can read that standalone. It
Like
sort
a
of explains
superhero.
what's going on. And just to let your viewers know, the giveaways are only here at the studio. If you buy it through Amazon, you're not going to get the free stuff. So
And they're signed copies. We've got the painting. We've got a signed copy. We've got actually all of Frank's books here as a signed copy. So you can buy the entire Jack Stenhouse series or one of his other books right here.
And the ones in the lobby, just so you guys know, it's not for, they're for purchase. Don't pick them up with a cup of coffee and think you're going to start reading it, because, I mean, I had to put cellophane tape on them. Because people take them. And when I caught one going out the door, I said, no, come here.
I got to tell you, Murder on New York Fashion Week, it sounds like a fantastic book and an amazing story. Frank, what compelled you to write about that? Was it Kenny or?
well, I knew he was involved in fashion shows, and I wanted to have the initial storyline revolve at a fashion show, and I chose him because I was at one of his fashion shows. So I chose him to be.
Is
one
this
of
a
the main
real
characters.
life story or something you made up?
Oh, that's something I made up.
Oh, because I'm beginning to wonder.
Yeah, you know where Frank gets his ideas from?
Who knows with this guy?
They come from above.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden things begin to happen. And he says, is this real or?
That's what I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to even say it, a Milan Fashion Week or anything else. And
Well, I'm not going to walk next to Kenny for a long time anymore because there's a bullseye on his back. And Kenny gets, what?
Yeah, Frank gets all of his information from the higher authority.
Yes.
And all the books, it's unbelievable. Diana, his books, he writes them, and then years later, they come to
They
fruition.
come to truth.
Yep.
No, it's kind of scary is what it is. Oh, Lord, where do we begin? All
Karen,
right.
you're enjoying doing the Latin Hustle?
I am. It's very enjoyable and getting to meet, very interesting people, a lot of magnificent people that have come through the show and just it's growing. I feel like we got something good coming.
You definitely have something good going, and you did a great interview on Monday. They're coming back tomorrow because they're actually going to be taking their own show.
Oh, beautiful.
Which will be exciting. 2 days a week, and it's going to be Prayer Warrior in Heels.
Prayer Warrior in Heels. Because this is
And
about,
I don't know how that translates into Spanish. but
this is
we've-
about women
Women
who are
empowerment.
warriors, and they wear heels, and they have to be warriors in heels because Women's Day apparently is never done.
Well, today is National.
Why are you laughing?
Today is National Shoe the World Day, but it's about empowered women. National Shoe the World Day. Red lipstick, heels, whatever you feel like to be an empowered woman. Diana says she's always wearing red, and it's all about God and faith and bringing religions and people together through prayer, and that's going to be called Prayer Warrior in Heels. It's about empowering women in the Latin community.
And she's worldwide known. So this is going to be really, really interesting. I want to thank Karen for helping us put that together on Monday. She says of all the places that she's been, and she's been to FAU, she's been to different places, she never found a home until she came here, which is exciting. And the doctor, her husband, offered to fly us to where?
Outside of Florida, let's put it that way.
Far away. I said, I looked at him and says, are you serious? He said, yeah. I went, wow.
She's an internationally renowned speaker, and they need press coverage.
Apparently so. And I was talking to somebody the other day. Spanish television, las novelas, are all written by people from South America, and they start them there because they love soccer down there and baseball. They love the novelas and Spanish TV, and all that is brought up to the northern countries in the Caribbean, but it all originates from there. So I used to know some soap opera guys.
Of course you did.
When I was
Guys or
in the
girls?
Guys. They used to write the novela. They write the soap operas. So there was a soap opera I used to watch with my mother called Doña Bárbara. I was 9 years old, and I used to watch this every night. With Edie Chacon. You remember Edie Chacon?
Oh, yeah.
Edie Chacon? You remember little Edie Chacon, right? Edie Chacon was a wiggle of her. And what was the name of her sister?
That I can't tell you.
I'm going to tell you, Edie Chacon's sister was just as hot as you. She was just younger. But Edie Chacon, she was in this Doña Bárbara soap opera. I used to watch it. And then I met this guy named Juadra. He was 600 pounds. And he was a writer. He used to do novelas for Guapa TV. Guapa in the day, right?
Guapa's good looking.
No, Guapa television.
Oh,
I think all guys on the novellas are guapa.
Guapo.
No,
Guapo.
the girls.
Guapo.
My God, they're like models.
Yeah.
And this the beautiful people. When you watch a soap opera, it's Spanish.
Prerequisite.
That would be Frank's book in Spanish.
Beautiful people, or Guapa.
Whatever the models of Walking Down the Runway, same thing.
It's very impressive. I was at Univision one day and they were filming a soap opera, and oh my goodness gracious, I said, it's just like a runway
Pretty
show.
amazing, isn't it?
Oh, they're gorgeous, unbelievable.
Frank, you met with Rochelle last week, and you're looking for a venue for the Florida Arts Network?
We are looking for a venue for our award show. We have one lined up. It's not set yet, but we have one lined up.
And
do
the
you know when
award
it's
show
gonna
should
be?
be somewhere around May or June. It may be postponed a little while because we're also working on a major fundraiser for our corporation. So whatever happens first, we may delay the show.
And is the topic for submissions going to be?
Best music video.
Ooh. We might have a submission. We might even have more than one by
We
the
may have
time
more
you
than
do
one.
it,
Yeah, more than one.
which would be pretty exciting.
Yep. I wanted to talk about that a little bit because Chico's also, Kendra is going to be on CSI. Remember Kendra? Her music made it to CSI on the 19th. I think it's the day of my birthday, on that episode. And then he called me because he's doing something for the Grammys, to enter music for the Grammys, and he needed some backup singers that are in the gospel. So I sent him a few people, and I'm going to get in touch with him to see if he's found anything. It would be really nice to be part of the growth of something that hits the Grammys, and if it wins, you never know.
Did you see the Oscars?
No, I didn't see the Oscars.
Nobody saw the Oscars?
I didn't see them
The
this
movie
year.
that won is just, they're still plugging it all over. That
Oh
is
my
just,
God.
It's never too
I
late
saw
to
it
make an
last
impact.
night on Showtime.
What'd you see, the movie? You did?
Yep. And it's funny because, what is she?
Everything,
Oriental,
everywhere,
Asian,
all
what
at
is she?
once.
What-
Asian.
Asian. The Asian lady was there. They owned a laundromat in this movie.
How was the movie?
And I hate movies with lower writing.
It's called subtitles.
I don't read that fast. I'm Latino. I don't read that fast. Blah, 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 blah. It turns into a munchkin. So I had to sit right in front of the TV.
I did
Wasn't
not
very
even
happy.
know it was a subtitled movie.
Just that section, because
Oh,
she
okay.
talks to her husband, and he's trying to grant her
Now you know how I felt watching West Side Story.
granting her divorce papers, and she's too busy to. Anyway, I was not impressed with that movie, at least in none of it. I'm
Really?
sorry. I am so sorry.
It won everything.
It won
I
everything.
think it won 11 awards.
It won everything.
And it was considered a short documentary, which is why I asked if you saw it. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And Jamie Lee Curtis won, and these names, people won, and they were told they're done in the industry, they were past their prime, it's never going to make it.
I'll give you that. There's a lot of past their prime
It was
people.
fun. Seriously? I hope you're kidding.
Sleeper, 2 stars. Sorry. Gotta go.
Wow. You're like
The
a
Whale.
Siskel and Ebert.
The Whale. I thought they should have won the movie.
He needs a disclaimer, please.
Why? I'm just telling you my opinion.
Okay.
The guy on the plane, what's his name? Number 2, Top Gun, number 2. Much better movie than that. There's a whole
I
bunch
think it
of
won
movies.
Best Musical Score.
A Man Named Otto. My goodness gracious, that's all
I don't
about
even know
real
if that
life.
was nominated. I
It
didn't
wasn't
even see
even
that one.
nominated. And Tom Hanks, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't mess with that guy. He's good.
But what's interesting about the movie that won, they started out, it made me think of Frank, as short story writers and music video producers.
Yeah.
And they had this dream, and they said, why not submit this short documentary? It's considered a short documentary. And they had 1 in 100 chances of even being accepted for a nomination. And then they won everything: Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Screenplay, Movie of the Year. And I was thinking, can you imagine if one of your books, and we're talking about putting a short together, right? It all starts with an idea. It just starts with a drop in the bucket, the ripple
From
effect.
your lips to God's ears.
Well,
But
I
I
gotta
was
tell you,
thinking, if they can do it,
the
why not
Oscars-
one of yours?
the Oscars changed everything, including the red carpet. There was
Yes.
no red carpet.
There was no red carpet.
They got rid of the red carpet because of what happened the year before. They thought that they were stigmatized as a very bad place to go. As you could tell, how many people watched it? Nobody watched it.
I did.
And it was the lowest watch Oscars in the history of Oscar making. So they wanted to get away from all that stupidity, even though they made some jokes about it and everything else.
Well, the Cocaine Bear was kind of weird.
That was even nominated is just ridiculous.
Well, no, they had someone dressed up as a bear running around the theater as the Cocaine Bear. I thought, to me, that was in poor taste. Just saying.
But what I'm saying is, short story was the theme. They're giving the other guy. This wasn't about the superstars winning everything. It was about the other guy. They were all nominated. They just didn't win.
It was about someone having an idea and a dream. The American dream is what this is. Their families were all immigrants, whether they were Hispanic
That's
or
what won.
from Japan. Some of them, their parents, they died young because they were here trying to live the American dream. And just an idea from movie making and writing a short story. He thanked his high school journalism teacher for believing in him to write a short story. That's what made me think of you, Frank, if you had seen any of the speeches. It was just an idea. It wasn't a multi-million blockbuster Hollywood put out. And it was from an off-site production company.
And it's funny because The Whale, that gentleman who's been in the movies all over the place, he won. They won for costume because they had to make him look like he was 800 pounds, and they did a really good job. He even beefed up to get into that
The
costume.
guy who was in George of the Jungle.
And remember the movie he did with
Brandon Fraser.
with the Chinese fella, the young kid? He grew up. And
Yeah,
he's, what's his name?
the,
He won an Oscar.
Temple of Doom.
Yes.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, with the young kid that was in the Temple of Doom. He's the one who won the Oscar
Yes.
from the movie.
Yep, and he and they
Exactly.
were saying we're still here, we're still here. I mean, again, if you look at the throwbacks, Jamie Lee Curtis, she finally told her mom and dad, "Hey, I got one too," which was a touching moment of the night because her parents had won the Oscar. She had never won the Oscar. She won it, and Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, she's up there in age. I'm gonna tell you,
She's only 64.
yeah, but she looked like she's 24.
I don't know what
How
you
you
were going
do
to
that?
say.
Oh, she's still a hottie. I mean, come on. Anyway, I thought that the Oscars went to the second tier of people making movies,
But
short
the
movies.
idea
on
is
the
that anybody
For the
can
right
have the
reasons, yeah.
American dream.
for the right
if you
reasons. But I
believe-
saw the movie
yeah.
yesterday. I'm sorry, it wasn't.
If you believe in it. No?
Next, not with the movies that I saw. Anyway, I wanted to take a second to wish the condolences to the Joe Pepitone family from the New York Yankees.
I was wondering if you saw that.
Joe Pepitone was at Beaucaire Country Club one day, where I live, and me and Freddie were on the golf course shooting, you know, shots, the driving range, and Joe Pepitone came over at his age, and this is going back about 10 years, maybe 11 years. This is when me and Freddie started. So if he was 82, he was in his 70s, 72, 71, and he was hitting balls, man, that were disappearing into the galaxy. I mean, he could still drive at his age. It was unbelievable. And I read that he passed away yesterday at the age of 82, I think it was.
That's what I saw.
And it just amazes me, I guess, growing up, some of the greats and some of the athletes and some of the superstars that do what we do in the business, to see them pass away, it's just one of the saddest things. And then it says, who's Joe Pepitone? I call Freddie. I says, remember that guy we met? He says, he died? I go, yeah. Because sometimes you think the people never die. They're just indestructible for the rest of your life. Like my father, man, I never thought my father was ever going to die. He was a tank.
Well, at the end of the Oscars, they did a whole memoriam, and John Travolta couldn't even get the words out.
For Olivia Newton-John?
Yep.
I saw that.
And it was for everyone, all these lives, young, old, just the impact that they've had on the industry. It makes me realize how old I really am. Because these are people who grew up with Irene Cara, some of the great movies, and then they died way too young.
They do. And it just makes me feel younger because, you know, you got to hold on to life.
Yep.
And you got to live it. And even if you're having a bad time, wipe it off and get going because next thing you know, it's over. It's like this.
So it's all about healing from the inside out. So I'm glad we've got Diana joining us. Aldera Guia.
Perfect.
Aldera Guia.
I'm
You
not
got
even
that?
going to try.
You have the most beautiful hair.
Thank
and
you.
you texted me, I think it was on Monday, and that we hadn't seen you in a long time.
Correct.
And Frank doesn't let a whole lot of people know, but he does his own way of healing. So today's kind of a nice day of healing in the studio. You are a pranic healer.
Yes, I am.
And what does that mean?
Our body has an innate ability to heal itself. Correct? So, pranic healing uses the life force from all the different elements to accelerate healing when we have something that's not working in our bodies, let's say mind, body, or soul. Usually when you feel pain, it happened out here. But, you know, before it ever gets to your physical body, it happens out here. And it's usually through retained emotions, you know, like cancer. Cancer comes a lot from anger. And so do many other diseases that we have. And it's not expressing ourselves, it's not taking care of our bodies. So pranic healing puts our body into balance,
And how
using
do-
the life force.
Light from outside, certainly not these lights up
What
here.
life force?
Energy. It's
Okay.
sun, air, the elements. Do you believe in God? I'm just an instrument, or whatever you want to call your, you know. I'm just an instrument who uses this energy to
Through your hands?
hands,
does it work?
crystals. Like we were talking about earlier, we use crystals to heal as well, but we have to make sure people have crystals in their homes and stuff, which have healing effects, but you have to keep them clean and energized, just like plants.
So we were talking about what happened yesterday, G-Man, on the morning show. Yesterday, that's Abraham. We're sitting in the back. There's a show here, and a lot of people, and we hear a crash coming from in here somewhere, but yet no one really moved. So I sent Freddie out. in the lobby, and Baxton goes out, and they're looking around.
I couldn't find
No
anything.
one really seems to see anything, so Mom goes out because I heard a crash, and no one saying anything. And a picture had fallen, slid down the wall, and I see glass on the floor. So I pick up the picture, and the glass is perfectly intact. Picture frame's perfectly intact. But there's shattered glass on the floor. And in the corner, we always had a money jar, and everyone put their New Year's resolutions in there. And it had been there for 5 years. But the jar didn't crack from the top like it fell, it cracked from the bottom. So when I picked it up, the whole thing came off, and everything that was in the jar was perfectly intact. I was able to pick up and I knew I was going to be fine because I knew, as G-Man calls it, a portal. It was protection. I knew I wasn't going to get cut by the glass because of what it was. I picked up every coin, and thankfully I was fine. And it stayed, but I think, well, I know what I think. I'm going to ask you what you think. G-Man called it a portal.
It's very possible it was a portal. It's things that break usually have, it's, maybe this is what going way out there, but it's usually clearing karma, clearing something, clearing energy that needs to be cleaned in a house, in a room, in a wherever. And it accelerates karma, which heals, increases your, I'm trying to explain this so that makes sense. Okay, in karma, we have a positive karma bank and a negative karma bank. So when things break, when we get into an accident, when things happen, usually it's clearing karma so that our positive increases and our negative decreases.
But I'm going to give you the normal version of what happened yesterday.
Okay, tell me the normal version.
You see, we have something in this studio called the dawn zone. So when you put something here, like I put this book here,
Right.
and the book disappears and you can't find it, you say to Dawn, where is it? So that glass thing was put back there by
Dawn.
So the only one that's going to know about broken glass in that section of the studio is going to be?
Which is why I knew I could clean it and I wasn't going to get hurt.
Okay, so the human version is if she had cut her vein trying to get this glass up, it would have been pretty difficult, right? Braxton, one of the producers, a big guy, and he's in my way. I can't get him to move. I could not move him over because he was in charge. While this one is picking up the glass
One
with her
penny
hand.
at a time.
So this is the real version of what happened.
That's the physical human version
Somebody
of
on
it.
the other side of this wall pushed the chair into the wall, knocking the frame and breaking the glass. But that isn't the story, because I knew there was a story. That's not the one that impresses me. The one that impresses me is the candle we had in the back. When we walk in, and it's lit. Now, when we walked in, it was off. Then she says, did you light the candle? And I looked at her and says, what am I going to light it with? I don't know where the lighter is. I don't know where the lighter is now. It's in the dawn zone.
Okay.
So I said to her, did you light it and forgot you light it? Because it lit itself. It's lit. So I don't ask why. I sort of got up, took my coffee, and I sat over here. Because something was going on over there. I didn't like it.
And there was no one else.
There was nobody else. It was me and
early
her.
in the morning.
And the candle lit itself.
That can happen.
It can't happen.
You seen that happen?
We're surrounded by energy, correct?
say
And in
no,
this
you never
energy, there's energy beings. If you want to call them angels, if you want to call them, there are many names depending on what faith and what religion you're in, which I'm not religious. Pranic healing has nothing to do with religion. It's just believing in a higher power. Because, again, we're instruments. We were created by something. But anyway, they're energy beings who have a mind of their own. And there are many times that they want to tell us something and we're not paying attention.
When you work with people, is it only if they have disease, if they've got cancer, or do you work with people in general to help?
I
Clear,
help people clear their
heal.
homes. I help people clear their businesses. I help people heal their pets. If you're diabetic, if you have cancer, if you have dementia. Right now I have a dementia patient. I'm working with a patient who has leukemia. And it could be depending on what the situation, I mean, you could have a headache. I was raised in a pharmacy. I mean, I was raised in a long line of medical professionals, being doctors, pharmacists of all sorts. And I studied pharmacy. I don't take drugs. I mean, I have to have like a headache that I just can't get rid of. It's been, you know, and I will work it energetically. And if I can't do it, because when you're in, it's like a doctor doesn't operate on themselves or take care of themselves. I'll call someone, I'll call a friend. We'll work on me. Can you, get rid of my headache, get rid of this, get rid of that.
And
so we work on
you
each
teach
other.
your clients to work through different states. You can't be everywhere every day.
No, but I don't have to be there. You can call me, Diana, I have a headache right now, or Diana, my fat toe hurts, or Diana, I have this, or someone I know has that. I say, okay. And I'll work on them. Now, the key to work, it's a non-touch modality. I don't need to be near you. I don't have to touch you. The key is, for the healing to work on anything, it's the person has to be receptive. It's like me trying to give you money. If you're not open to it and you're like this, you're not going to get the money. You have to be receptive.
Interesting.
In a receptive state.
Isn't it interesting how Frank's always here on the right day?
He's the reason it happens. So let me ask you. So you're talking about frequency energy, or you're talking about spiritual energy, or you're talking about both?
It's a combination. Because we heal the mind, the body, and the soul. We work on the emotional body, the mental body, and the physical body.
And you work on it balanced.
On balancing it, correct.
Because if you don't have balance, then what you got too many people doing one dance and not looking at the other dance and healing. Is healing internal, or is it external coming to internal?
It's external. We work on the outside coming in.
But I have the healing power within.
You do.
And you're going to put me on that frequency to see it.
I'm helping your body accelerate that process.
But it's
When
not
we're
just the
kids-
physical state. You can help also with people at this heightened state of anxiety.
Also.
You can help with that as well.
Exactly.
And Diana told us while we were at commercial break, you can have as many crystals. Now she's going to have me walking around cleaning the crystals if I don't clean enough here. Now I'm going to have to get a ladder and clean all the crystals that we have hanging around here.
I don't. And when I say clean, I don't mean dust them.
You
She
mean
means
clear them.
clean them.
Clean them energetically. Yes.
Now, I think that the solution to you is that you're going to be running around here like a crazy person even more. And we all absorb the craziness. No. I'm going to tell you, you cleaned yesterday the lobby, didn't you? You did it right in front of me. Do you know she went back and cleaned it again? She reminds me of my sister. Mimi's like you. If I clean this cup, I notice, you'll clean it again.
No, the lobby was good. G-Man did the lobby.
No,
it was the batter.
you
But that's
clean-
besides the point.
That is the
But
point.
I think,
And this is what she does.
back to what Diana said, I think, and I know, part of my cleaning the studio is me feeling like I need to clear the energy, let it out at the end of the day, and we start fresh in the morning. I can't, in my mind, it may not even be a real thing. This may just be my crazy. I can't leave energies here for the next day, although I know they protect it. I just feel like I have to clean it, sweep it, mop it, move it away, and then we start again.
That has to do. I know someone like that. I know someone that you walk into their house. Doesn't matter what time of the day or night. The floor looks impeccable. The sink, the kitchen, everything. I mean, there's nothing out of place. It's like, and she'll be mopping and sweeping. Like she does it 2 or 3 times a day. I know
I don't
her.
do it at my house at all. I only do it here.
But it has to do with control because she can't control other aspects. This particular person can't control she can't control her relationship with her partner. She can't control other things. So this is how she handles it. This is how she focuses her energy.
My crazy. Control.
It's not that you're crazy. It's that you are who you are. You should accept the fact of what you are. And the object of the game is everybody already knows. They can clean.
Even Karen knows.
They can clean, and then we sit down and we wait.
And then Karen comes in on a Saturday and she fixes it again.
And we wait. Because we know it's coming. And it's coming. And it starts out with a little limpieza. And then Boom, boom, boom.
I called you screaming.
And she's screaming at me. I said, why
But
are you
cleaning
screaming?
this here like this or sweeping isn't cleaning out the energy.
But then I spray and I do cleansing baths on the floor and all that other stuff too.
But what do you use?
Oh, please. No,
Or do I want to
please.
go there?
What doesn't she use?
Well, we got special floor clearing from Sarah Spiritual.
And we're supposed to throw the water out the door.
I did that too.
Listen, I'm hip to understanding all of that. But sometimes
Sages, that's another story.
That's another one. There's many methods of sage. There's the burning one that gives me allergies in here. There's all sorts of stuff. But I always tell Dawn that people that come in here each carry their own weight. They carry their own spirit.
Correct.
And I'm not going to walk in fear of anybody's spirit.
Correct.
I'm not afraid of it. I will challenge it. I will do whatever I got to it. It doesn't make me become a limpiador, the sweeper, which I was taught at my grandmother. She's a
Okay.
sweeper, and a sweeper sweeps. That's what they do, and they clean things at all times. But I don't get into that with Dawn because I've known Dawn such a long time. I'm sort of used to it. I know she's going to trip. I tell her you're going to trip, and she trips. Thank you. And things happen. Things happen for a lot of reasons. You know, we have to learn a little bit more about who we are, and what we do.
I know many people who protect themselves, who shield themselves to not receive other people's energy. I don't do that. Wherever I am, I project energy. Sitting here, I project energy.
You see, but
Positive.
you're a positive light.
Frank, what do you think about that? Because you do, and you don't take it in either.
No.
We've talked about that also.
I don't take in, I don't, and when I am asked to anoint, I have to protect myself because sometimes bad energy can come to me.
Yeah, you're going to take
So
it in.
I have to protect myself from that,
You remind me of the movie The Exorcist.
basically.
Remember the guy who was punching out the demon and it went into him? He threw himself down there.
That can happen. So,
But
when
you know,
do
it
that, you gotta
happens.
protect yourself.
The transfer of energy happens every day.
It
Good,
does.
bad, or indifferent. Sometimes you'll take it in and funny things begin to happen to your body. And then when you stop doing it, your body goes back to normal. And there's all sorts of stuff.
But when that happens, for me, when that happens, it feels like I've been I don't even know I'm in battle. My body feels like it's in battle. And when it's done,
We'll tell you.
it's like, it's just
We'll raise a
done.
flag.
When my body,
G-Man, we'll get flags.
It's
Every time she's
crazy.
going into that zone, we'll raise a flag.
he knows. He's like, I got you, Mom. Like, they all know. When I get into that point, they all just, it's like this fight or flight.
But the energy you give, depends on how you feel. Because if you're if you're projecting the positive energy and you're not concerned about, oh my God, what is this person's energy going to affect me? If you're not worried about that, you won't have that problem. But people are taking your energy
All the time.
all the time. So then you're tired and you're exhausted and you feel depleted.
You remember the movie that they put where the guy was on the hill and he says, Jack Nicholson, I think, he says, I'm home. And he talked about the little boy and he went into the thing. He killed Jack Nicholson because he went into the maze with the flowers. What was the name of that
It
thing?
rings a bell. The Shining?
The Shining. The Shining. And my grandmother talked about my shining. And she used to tell me, don't give your shining away. And people that come in here, some have their shining, and some people don't. But I look at the Ouija board, and people are afraid of Ouija boards, because who's moving the damn thing? See, he won't touch a Ouija board, but why?
Don't do that.
Why? See, he doesn't do that.
Christine
because-
won't do it either, right? Everyone's shaking their
Well,
head.
I'm gonna tell
no.
you something. I'm gonna tell you about a Ouija board. It's fear. It's your fear on a Ouija board that's gonna test you, your spirit. Remember Moses when he had the rod, and God turned it into a serpent, and he picked it up. He says, "I'm not afraid of any man's perception." That's what that whole thing was about. The Ouija board is the same thing. You don't fear something, you understand it, and you're not afraid of it because, you got choice to take in stuff. You do it every day when you do your thing. And you have the same fear. I could be your Ouija board because I know what you do for me. And there's no reason to fear it. See, when you fear something, that's when you open the door to questioning it. And once you question it, then it gets spiraled your frequency begins to wander and look like a floppy record on different levels.
The purpose is to keep your okay, balance, back to balance,
That's right.
frequency. We all day we're like this. Most people
That's
are like
right.
this. They're happy, they're sad, they're upset. So and so did this. Oh my God, do you believe they did that? When someone triggers you, you need to look at what they're mirroring back at you. But your purpose is to be like this, like to be on an even keel. Because if you're like this, that's how you get depleted.
Abraham's always like this, and I'm like this.
Abraham is pretty.
He is. He's always pretty steady. Josh is pretty steady also.
No, not Josh. Not Josh. Toilet Man is not pretty steady.
He is.
He's learning to be steady. But Abraham is very steady.
You're not steady.
I'm very steady. Everybody's always telling me that something is going on with me. Nothing's going on with me. Sometimes I let them think it because I want to hear what they think. But I know why. You know, I used to tell people, when you die once and come back, that's a miracle. When you die twice or 3 times and come back, then you got a story to tell. There's a reason for you to be here to tell your story, so don't panic. There's no reason to panic anymore. It's reason to teach. So it depends on your perception in life. But I welcome all. And to me, like I told you that time we went to the bagel place, and that lady was screaming her head off at her workers. And Dawn says, I don't want to talk to her. Let's talk to the workers. I said, no, I want to talk to her. She became a good friend of the show. There was no demon in her left. All the fight, all the anger was gone.
All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, more with healing, pranic healing. I'm trying to talk to Frank and see what he's got cooking, what his spirits are telling him. And Karen's joining us as well. Give us a call, 888-9944-995. Instead of signed copy of Operation Retribution by Frank Wallace. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Brand new shows, only on AMP2 TV. We have All-in-One Insurance, Latin Hustle Gonkaden, Meta Magazine Show, Pitch 2 Production, The Florida Love Show, The Sixth Borough, Meet the Experts, Reinvented Life, Lights in the Night, and The Hangout. Tune in so you don't miss these amazing new shows. Only on AMP2 TV.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Sitting on a park bench one day, you came down and sat next to me. You had my heart fluttering, baby, like a pair of butterfly wings. I seemed to talk for hours about everything we do. And when you went away, baby, Lord, right then I knew that there's only one woman for me. You showed me things I'd never seen. Oh, baby, you drive me crazy. There's only one woman for me. It's been 2 years, baby. Oh, you're standing there. I see the love in your eyes, wind blowing through your hair. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, the love we shared. And I knew in my heart, baby, none would ever compare. And there's only one woman for me. You show me things I've never seen. You drive me crazy. my darling, you went away. You flew up to heaven, you see. Got your own pair of wings. Though it broke my heart, I remember everything you taught. There would never be another woman that could mend his heart. And there's only one woman for me. You show me things I've never seen. Oh, baby, you drive me crazy. And there's only one woman for me. You show me things I've never seen. Whoa, baby, you drive me crazy. And there's only one woman for me. There's only one woman for me. There's only one woman for me. There's only one woman for me.
I gotta tell you, that's a nice video that Josh and Katie put together.
Josh is already envisioning the next video he's going to be creating.
He's envisioning it?
I think he's thinking of doing Johnny Melnick.
Johnny Melnick is supposed. Johnny, if you're watching, let's go.
Positive direction.
Let's go. I'm not getting younger. Let's go.
All
I
right.
love positive direction. That's a great. That's the. Oh, I wanted to ask you.
Yes. I'm excited about this, actually. We are starting a new show the first week in April. It's called The Wisdom Cafe, and it has nothing to do with the Brooklyn Cafe. It happens to be by Arthur Tassinello. You say that one.
Arthur
Tassinello, and he is starting a new show, and he is a love and relationship coach. And right now his site is called The Wisdom Cafe, and it's going to be on Wednesday. So you get a little bit of wisdom on Wednesdays at the Wisdom Cafe. It's a whole lot of W's on hump day, but we're going to start this in April, and it's about relationships. And what I really like about his approach, it's a man's approach to relationships and love and abundance and energy and all the things we talk about every day. We don't often get a man to share the information and the wisdom.
Exactly.
And about second chances.
And this book talks about you and everything that you should know about you. And I was so impressed with this book that I want to bring in Roots and Wings to talk to them. This book, for me, should be given to every freshman entering college. And I kid you not. It talks about you. It took some deep questions about yourself. You got to take a good look in the mirror. And this book helps you do that. And I was really encouraged that he's come forward with this.
Yeah.
Because there aren't many workbooks, and this is a simple workbook that asks some real deep questions. And what's going on around us right now is so confusing for our kids and for everybody that's going into school. This book will help ask the real serious questions, because I think the parents have lost the edge on preparing kids to go to school.
I think it's even bigger than that, and I got to talk to Lynn about it a little bit yesterday. Arthur got a second chance at life, and we talk about energy and what we put out in the universe, and he went through a bad divorce. I can't say any divorce is good, and he didn't realize the impact it was going to have on his son when he left Florida and he went out west. His son was a teenager. And he says, one day in the parking lot, he says to God, if only you would give me a second chance, I will make it right the second time around. And sure enough, as God always answers, he met another woman, he got married, and he had a daughter who is really the apple of his eye. And he realized he was given a second chance, and with that second chance, he felt compelled to share and look deep into his heart. And it wasn't about, I always say that Cats in the Cradle song, I want to be like you, Dad. And it's not as if it's wrong to be like your parents. It's all you know, right? That's all that's programmed, until he said he's got a second chance, and he reprogrammed, and he's sharing the message of taking the opportunities and loving yourself first and everything we talk about. What I like, though, is this generation, a lot of them are raised by single parents, a lot of them by single moms. And there's not always that male perspective. You're a lot of people's dads in this studio. And a lot of the guys, they're helping with their moms, they're doing the groceries, they're doing the yard work, they're helping with their siblings. And they have dads, but it's not maybe always that fresh perspective. So I like, and Mayor really appreciated that as well. Gives a fresh perspective. You don't always realize a whole nother side of looking at things.
Never saw this man in this book coming. And when he came in here with his sister.
Who we've known for years.
We've known for years, but we didn't know they were brothers and sisters
no idea.
until they announced it on the air. And I was floored, you know, because a lot of what this book is about had to do with my life, with my 2 boys, raising them, Michelle, getting divorced from Michelle and everything else. But it's a good book. It's a good workbook to show I am really motivated to get that thing going. And I spoke to him yesterday because he had some questions as to whether or not he wanted to do it at this time. We're going to start with a half hour. But tune in, join in, and if you have questions, come on down for the filming of it as well. It's a good story. It's a good lead-in, and I never saw it coming. Never saw this coming. And I've been doing this a long time, but when I met him, I says, we got to do this. This is a must. Just like Frank. Never saw him coming either. But it's changed lives, my life and a lot of other people's lives. And if you don't believe me, be here with him and Sally and everybody, when the gang is all here, and watch what happens.
Right? It's a nice, this is interesting. And it's just a workbook, but you really have to dig deep. I take time to listen before I react to others. True or false?
Is that true or false?
Everyone's answer is different before you react. Oh, true. Absolutely. I ask for clarification when I'm unsure about what someone said.
Yes.
Yes. I completely understand someone's point of view before I react.
That's a good one. Answer is no.
I judge other people for their point of view.
Yes. Absolutely. People do that.
I care about what other people think of me.
Never did, never will.
You don't. Freddie doesn't either. Frank, no?
I don't
Diana,
care.
no. Karen, you don't? Josh, do you?
Yeah, but it's funny because I asked the question, can I say I am the greatest at what I do? And everybody told me, no, I can't say that.
Well, you can
Why?
say anything you want.
No, but you know what I mean. They say I couldn't say it because I'm living other people's opinion of me. So how do you answer this question? Yet when I asked that question, I got the no's.
I try to change other people's point of view about me.
Not at all. Take me as I am.
My reactions to other people are generally normal. Not for me.
No?
Am I normal?
No.
You just told me on the last segment I'm so not.
No, you said your reaction.
This is the question. My reactions to other people are generally normal.
To other people, not yourself.
What's
What do you
normal?
classify as normal?
That's a good question. That should be like a sub question on this one, right? People fear my reactions.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
People have often told me that I don't react well.
I'm not going to say nothing.
This is another good one. I have sabotaged relationships because of my reactions.
I'm not going to say nothing.
So, more to come with this book. And Arthur Tassinello, if you're in the area for his show, it starts Wednesday, April 5th at 3 o'clock right here at the studio.
A lot of fun doing that, too.
So it'll be another Wednesday. Any of these things make you think, Karen? She's like, no, I'm good.
I don't think anything moves you anymore.
Well,
You
I
think too
just
much.
feel like, everybody you bring in is very interesting, and like it's amazing to hear their story or where they came from or how far they've come along in their life. So it's very interesting to just.
Yeah, but I can't say when you first came in here because the circumstances were different, but when you first arrived a few times, did any of this change your opinion about things that you were going through?
Definitely. I mean, hearing, people's stories and hearing people who have overcome obstacles in their life, a lot of people who have, overcome divorce and different things that, just meeting them and hearing them share their story gives you hope, gives you light, and, does change your perspective on things. Does help you, realize that it's not as bad as it seems. Like you and Dawn have helped me a lot, see a different side to the story, and same with other people, they have their story, and you just see a different perspective to light from what they bring here.
It's interesting because I always tell people when they do that is you change your perspective. Because being balanced means that you are who you are every day of the week. And this is what we do every day of the week. And all we're doing is giving you an option to see what we do, but you're going to pick your path. You're going to decide to change. You know, this young lady does interviews now, and she does them in Spanish, and she does it really, really well. And the show's beginning to grow. It's getting legs. And now people are beginning to sign on because they want to be involved in this stuff. These were dreams I had 8 years ago. Not to take something from you, Frank, because you write about them from 12 years ago. But these were dreams that I had, that we would be able to reach my Latino community. Because I think that my Latino community is underserved. They don't get to have the benefits of understanding that you do have choice. You can make a better life. You can control your kids if you try. You don't always have to be working 15 jobs a day. Time out. And you know, I didn't even know what a senior home was until I came to live in Florida. I was 43 years old. I didn't know the senior home existed in New York. That wasn't even a thing.
I was reading a study the other day that said successful people actually have to stop. It's not about working 15, 20 hours a day. It's not the first person to the end wins. It's actually taking a step back and stopping, regrouping, resting, processing what you're doing. You can actually succeed, whatever your degree of success is, more if you actually stop and process. Do you guys think that's true?
I totally agree with that.
Yeah?
Completely.
Yes.
I grew up in a house where my father left to go to work at 6 in the morning. He didn't come back till 9. And I was 9 years old, and I said to my mother, I'm going to go work with Dad. I was in summer school. I was summer. And my mother said, why? And I said, because I want to know who my father is. I only see him on the weekends, and I like to be able to talk to him. And he was too tired. We used to go play ball on the weekends. So I used to go to work with him. I used to make $25 a week in the construction business. I bought myself brand new white pants and a little green bag. I had a patula, which is a scraper, and a hammer, and I went to work. I'm 9 years old. I said, Dad, what am I going to do? He says, I want you to scrape the windows of this building and paint them. How do you do that, Dad? He says, you do it like this, and he shows me. And that summer, I learned who my dad was. And my father worked like a beast, but he loved it. My father loved to work. He said to me, you ever have a problem in life, you can always work your way out to a solution. And I learned that working is nothing to be afraid of. And I was the only 9-year-old with money.
Yeah, but now they're saying it's different, that it's not about working 20 hours a day, 15
I
hours
understand
a
that,
day.
but he wasn't going to change. So I changed. I could have been that summer playing ball with my cousins. I could have been out on the street hanging out in the Bronx. Are you kidding me? Eating West Side Story? Forget about it. I could have done all that. But I chose to find out who my dad was. And I took that $600, I think, that I saved that summer, whatever it was, and I put it in a box. And I kept it in a hiding place. Because anytime I always thought I failed at something, I would go rub that box. Because I did something that none of my cousins did. Nobody in my family did. You know how good that made me feel? When I went to NYU, I was the first in my family to go to a private school. You know how good that made me feel? It wasn't about the time done, it was about the time spent. So all I'm saying is, if you're going to spend a lot of time, spend it wisely.
You stop and regroup, Diana?
I agree with what he just said. There aren't very many 9-year-olds that will go out of their way to be and learn who their dad is.
True.
And there was a lot less exposure to so many different things as there are now. Right now, kids learn many things that they shouldn't be learning from people who shouldn't have influence on them. Reprogramming, you mentioned, that's what the gentleman, I didn't catch his name.
Oh, Arthur.
Reprogramming the brain and your way of being is essential, because if you learn how to reprogram yourself, which is what we do also, we help people with that through pranic healing, and you lead a balanced life, you spend your time at work, You spend your time with your family who needs you. You spend your time with your wife who also needs time with her partner, who needs attention. And your husband also needs it, or whatever the partner needs, happens to be. If you entertain yourself at a movie, or if you play ball with your kids, those are things that take your mind away so that when you come back, you're more creative, you have more to offer instead of always being, when you're looking at the same thing all the time, that's all you see. You don't have a lot of newness.
Do you ever shut your mind off when you do those things?
When I'm doing healing?
Not when you're doing healing, when you're not working.
Well,
or are you always...
In my case, for example, I went to a convention with Vismaya. And there was a woman that walked up to me, and I don't know how we started talking. I wasn't working. And she says, I have this pain. I'm like, okay, just sit down for a minute. And I did my thing. And I asked, she didn't know what I was doing. I said, how do you feel? She says, well, what did you do? I said, I just moved around a little bit of energy. She says, I feel so much better. Thank you. So if it presents itself, I take care of it. I handle it, whatever. But if not, I try and my clients, I'm always checking, but it's not like I'm working. I'll if something has me check Anna, let's say, I'll check her, make sure she's okay, and then I'll keep going and I'll check on her. I say, is everything okay with you?
You never disconnect. I'm going to ask Frank the same question, because I think healers, people that come into this space, we can't disconnect because we're always connected. And I laughed. I said to you yesterday, do you just shut me off sometimes? And you guys said you should. You go, I can't shut you off. Do you ever really disconnect, Frank?
From
work?
As a writer? No.
No.
No. A writer's constantly something going on in his head.
There's always something in this creative space. Now, maybe it's different if you're an accountant and you actually put tax season away. You put tax season away and you go to the beach and you do what you do. You're not thinking about, when's the next legislative ruling going to come down? Unless you're waiting for it. But what it seems to me in this space that you and I are in all the time, you're always checking on your clients. You get a message, right? I need to check on this person. Frank's the next idea.
I'm curious to find out, when did you discover your healing technique?
I was one of those people who I would look at healers and I'm saying, okay, that's kind of weird. But I wouldn't, I'm one of those people that I don't judge. I mean, you could stand on your head all day here and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, how do you do that? And I'll learn. But I never really thought that would be me. And for some reason, I had a back pain I couldn't get rid of when I lived in Ohio for a year. Don't ask me why I lived in Ohio. It was too cold. I'm made for the tropics. And she says, lay down. She was in Florida. I was in Ohio. She said, listen to this meditation. I'm like, okay, I'll listen. Whatever. And she worked on me. And the pain went away. I was like, what did you do? And I started listening to the meditations. I started looking at all the mentors and checking them out. And there's one in particular I love. And I started following him. And I came to Florida because I was done with Ohio. And I started taking the courses. And it wasn't new to me. Does that make sense? Like, it wasn't something that I had to work hard to figure out. I got it. Once I started taking the courses, it just came naturally. And I told my kids, no, I'm working with, and my daughter said to me, you're a what? I said, yeah, I'm working with energy. I'm an energy healer. And she says, Mom, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? She asked me, I can't wait for you to outgrow this stage. I'm like, well, I'm going to sadly disappoint you, but I don't think it's going to happen. My son, on the other hand, is very sentient. He feels, but he won't talk about it with his sister.
It's different to talk about. And Frank, when you're busier now doing this than you were actually had your day job before. Right. When did you know you were getting messages?
Well, you had an incident, Frank, didn't you? You
Well,
met somebody.
My wife Christine and I were volunteers at a Virgin Mary apparition site in Hollywood, Florida. And there the visionary told me that on my shoulder, always with me, was Archangel Uriel, which holds the wisdom of God, and Archangel Gabriel, which is the messenger. So that's what she told me. And then during that time, I was still working, normal job. I was in purchasing manager for 40 years, various companies down here and up north. And every morning before I would go to work, we have a Bible on display in our dining room, so I would open up, I would just flip open the page of the Bible, and whatever it came to, that would be my inspiration for the day. I would look at something and that'd be the inspiration for the day. So one morning, I flipped open to Luke 21:11, which was when Jesus was telling his apostles what's going to happen when he returns again. Luke 21:11 says there'll be plagues and earthquakes in various places, terrors in the sky, and great signs. That's Luke 21:11. That's what I wrote. That's what I read. I went, oh, okay, thank you. Went to work. 3 days in a row, opened up the same passage. Randomly. Just grabbed the Bible, opened up, same passage. Luke 21:11, and that's when I started writing. And Gabriel's Chalice is the first book that I released, which is based on the days leading up to Judgment Day, or Luke 21:11.
Karen has that book in front of her.
Yes.
It's a great book, and it's a book about, I always look at things, it's a book about hope.
It's a book about what's going to happen. And that's how I got the message. So, and in there, like Freddie had said, I have things I write come true. I write in that book about two plagues that happened, which ended up being very similar to what's going on now.
Yep.
The first plague was it attacked people's lungs and the ability for the lungs to transfer oxygen into the blood. And the second plague, which was a result of a bad side effect from a vaccine.
Yes, Diana's
Do me a
face.
favor, stop writing.
No, I think more people just need to read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
need to read.
people need to learn.
I think the Earth is giving us a message. Mother Earth is giving us
I think
some feedback.
Yeah, but the trouble is nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny because the people you need to listen are the ones that listen least. There's a project in Alaska that he's all concerned about, that Biden just approved to drill for its oil. But that project has legs for many, many, many years. Anytime a president feels that they're going to lose the White House, they put that into play. And gasoline apparently is going to go up this summer with the war and everything else that's going on overseas. And so politicians are trying to backdate this stuff and say, oh, listen, we're gonna resolve the problem. They're just gonna make it worse. So we don't learn. I think we should go to horse and buggy again.
And I got to ask you, do you ever, back to where we are, do you ever shut down what you were thinking about?
Shut down for what? How the hell does anybody shut down?
I know, but
you shut down?
Whoever they asked in the study isn't in this energy space.
I'm just wondering because you're talking about let's go back to the horse and buggy.
And how we went back to the question?
Flash forward to nowadays, aren't they trying to get all the cars to be electronic now?
There's a
right?
big problem
And
with that too.
No gas.
What do you do with the batteries? What do you do with the parts? They go on fire, ion, lithium, whatever. I say a horse is a horse. Let's go back to horse and buggy.
I want solar.
Solar's another problem. What do you do with the panels? With the deserts where they put the planes, it's full of solar panels.
Yeah, what do you do when it snows?
You can't bury them because they have
need the sun.
They have stuff in them.
Yeah, you can't bury them.
You can't because they're poisonous to the earth. So
Well, they also need the
stack
sun
'em up.
to work.
Horse and buggy. If we go back to the horse, the Clydesdale. Can you imagine going to work in your Clydesdale?
I think that's amazing. I would love that. I love horses.
Do you know
The
how
problem
much?
is we would have to reroute
That's me.
all the roads.
Me and Josh. That's how I want to
it
go.
is.
Do you know how much road rage there'd be with the horses?
Why? You got all the roads. You don't
Because
have to
they'd
worry
be like,
about that.
yeah, and hitting the horse to go
You
faster.
can only go 40 horse miles per hour.
I don't think it goes that
And look
fast.
how many people you'd have to hire to clean the streets.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'd have a full-time job.
Who's gonna be the one behind the horse
Imagine I just sweep
scooping
the
it up?
streets.
You'll be the sweeper. You'll be the super sweeper. That's right. But listen, when we at the height of COVID, remember that the whole world shut down, and they talked about you could see the atmosphere again because the pollution went down. The oceans were clean. New York City actually does have water around it, right? So it isn't impossible to do.
I can see Dawn pushing a big 55-gallon drum and a wheel on a big broom.
Right? Totally.
I would love to have a horse come to work on a horse. I love that.
You're late as it is. You never show up. We never
Well,
see you.
time will have to take.
Take it,
We don't
adjust.
start work till 11 o'clock because it's going to take that long. The congestion of every
Yeah,
horse
but
out
there's
there.
not that much country anymore because all the like farmland and stuff has been torn down to make buildings and stuff. So poor horses, they don't have a field to run anymore. They have like obstacles to go around the
We
buildings.
create a new horseshoe, like a shoe, like a real shoe. Because the horse, you got to protect its calves.
Adidas, Nike, Reebok.
Something like that. You put Adidas on
We
them.
would need to tear down all the concrete, all those highways,
Why?
and make everything, because that's not good for horses.
For dirt.
But I'm saying, you see, we don't have horse
I
technology.
met someone who's got a patent, and I'll tell you who it is, to make concrete out of algae.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
And I got a guy who does algae out of concrete, but that's a different story.
So imagine that. My question is, obviously it's biodegradable, but
If
does it
you-
biodegrade? Like, how does it stay that substance and it's going
I
to
don't.
put a building?
I'm not a buyer.
we'll see.
I don't see that happen.
That would concern me
Yeah,
to
me
some
too.
degree. Yeah.
Right?
Me too.
And in the heat in Florida, imagine.
No, I can
Yeah.
see.
Oh, yeah.
I can see the concrete growing mold.
I know, it's a little
You don't
concerning,
know.
but people are trying.
But what I would do is you're going to put money, the money you spend on cars, you put it into horseware. And you watch what happens. You don't have to you don't have to take anything down. Everything's built
And
already.
here's the thing, we're all laughing at you. It's like when Frank writes a book, and then
It
tomorrow
happens.
something's going to come out, and there's going to be a
That's a
story.
good story to write. Going back to horses.
And there's going to be a story, and we're all going to look at you and say, Freddie, do you remember when you told us that?
You know the fish live in trees.
You have a story for us already?
You know that story?
Have you ever taken care of a horse?
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, I had a horse farm.
Why would you ever want to do that? Like,
Have you ever ridden a horse?
my cousin rides horses.
No, are you?
I rode her horse, but she was called again.
Okay, you didn't like that feel of an animal, or
Well, her horse is massive, so no.
yeah. So horse, you can have a cart with two horses in front. You don't have to ride the horses, but do you know how it would do so much better? You don't have to worry about gasoline and nothing like
Yeah,
that.
but you gotta feed the horse and then take the horse to the doctor.
You got to feed you too.
Yeah,
You
but
got to feed the horse.
then it's
You wouldn't pay gasoline.
And you wonder why we get off topic.
I'm just saying, if I bring in 20 horses, right, and I put them out here, and you come and we do the horse patty or something, make sure the horses don't get hurt, and you come on down, and for $20 an hour or $40 an hour, you can ride the horse and we go on. I bet you people will show up.
You know, Ted
Right?
Lasso's back out again. And
I
Ted
saw that
Lasso
last
says, be the goldfish.
Could you imagine, though, the people that you've got a lot of people complaining there's too many cows and they're causing too much pollution. Can you imagine if we filled the whole earth with horses? There'd be people that complain about that, too.
People complain about everything.
They'll complain about anything.
People complain about motorcycles, so.
And then the cost of fruits will go up. Feed your horse.
Oh, yeah.
No, because, well, boy, you guys are so negative.
I'm with you.
I want a
Freddie.
horse.
I'm with you. I'm into horses. I like horses. They're very healing as well.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. We know places that we've done.
And actually, I spoke to her, Abby Mosier, who runs Tomorrow's Rainbows, to try to bring her on. She said they are so swamped, busy with people and children that need help and healing through the horses that she can't even get out from under. She can't get people to work with her or for her. And she's got more and more clients coming forward that need the healing from the horses. So if anyone wants to volunteer at Tomorrow's Rainbow, I am sure they'd be more than happy to get some help.
The funny thing is, you go to college to learn how to work computers. Nobody goes to college to learn how to feed a horse. I had a horse
There are
farm
people that do
in
that.
Puerto Rico. I never forget, Linda went with me to Puerto Rico. She saw the horses. And in the middle of the night, somebody was trying to steal the horses. So there was gunfire. And my father says, duck. And we all threw ourselves on the ground. And I said, what the hell is that? He said, oh, somebody was probably trying to steal the horses. And welcome
like the
to
Wild Wild West?
Wild West. Well, and then DeSantis wants you to wear guns like a cowboy now. Why not have the horse?
I don't even know what to tell you.
Would you ride a horse to work?
Probably not.
Why?
Because then I'd have to come to work and take another shower, and I only have one bathroom, and there's no
This
shower,
is
so it becomes
unbelievable.
problematic.
I can't ride a horse because I got to take a shower.
You don't have to take a shower. I would have to take a shower.
So we'll put a outside
out-
potty. A potty.
My
here.
outside
And
bathroom
if
is now
I-
gonna
if I
have
had
a shower.
hose and a potty at the same time.
Yeah, but the other thing you got to be aware of is the control of the horse, because you can, whip the leash or whatever to make it run or walk or whatever, but once it starts taking off at a high speed
Well,
and you're
don't
like,
hit it.
whoa, and you're
Josh is having fun.
Well, that's a person who knows how to ride it. I'm not there yet, but that's one of my things I want to learn is how to ride a horse
Okay,
properly.
let me ask everybody in here a real fast question. Do you know how to drive a car?
Yes.
Except for him. Anybody else know how to drive a car?
Yes.
When
Yes.
you were born, did you learn how to drive a car?
No.
So you're going to learn how to ride a horse, man. It is the same mental concept.
Weekly activity idea. Trade an hour using your electronic devices for an outdoor activity. So take that hour
Horse.
and ride a horse.
That's right.
I told you something was going to pop up pertaining to what you just said.
I think it will create more opportunities, less pollution, less this getting back to earth. Maybe you ride your horse once a week. Huh?
Slow society down.
Oh
It
my
would slow
God.
society down.
Please, I would welcome that.
But a horse is only one of the few animals where if a person is walking down the street or driving down the street, they'll stop and say, oh, look, a horse.
Not if everybody has one. They say, oh, look, a car.
Yeah, well, they'll say, oh,
That's
look,
true.
a car.
That's very
Or an
true.
elephant. Ride an
Elephants
elephant.
are slower.
What is it with you? You need to get somewhere fast?
She's in a hurry.
Yeah, the elephant, I don't know. I'll take the horse.
G-Man, you're going to ride a horse.
G-Man was an elephant. That's a Cadillac. The elephant is a Cadillac.
He's hilarious, I got to tell you.
Everybody has to get to wherever they want to go in 37 seconds. I see people that I know, they drive 90 miles in a 50. Why?
Camel.
I gotta get
A
there.
camel. You'll get there in 5 days.
A camel, no, camels stink.
Elephants,
smells, but those
it's a
camels.
tool.
oof.
What about a real jaguar instead of the jaguar car riding a real jaguar?
You
Yeah,
got
good
it?
luck with that.
She's in school.
I'm going to, she'll be back in about an hour.
1 hour. I go to you.
here only till 3 because I have to go doctor.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Take the keys.
Karen, can you take the key? Yeah.
And if you don't see me there, she come tomorrow, yeah?
Yes. I'll take you tomorrow. All right, but I'll be over there.
Till 3 I will be here.
All right, thank you.
Best mechanic in Boca right there.
You take care of everything here.
The car needs service over too long time already.
Really?
Yeah, and she have to wash the car.
Her car needs a car wash and she needs service. Can you tell your daughter to please take care of her car?
Josh, take care of that.
We do it all
There
here.
you go. This is why we don't have horses. Because the car needs service over 20,000 miles. Oh, there you go. Right at lion. No, that may be dangerous to my health.
Is that a bear?
That's
A lion.
I'll take the horse.
That's
I'll keep
why
the
people
horse.
don't have horses, because you have to take care of the animal. If you don't take care of your car and it goes and dies, you leave it there. Your horse, you got to take care of it. It'll bite you.
You gotta take care of it. Diana, how do people get in touch with you for more information about what you do?
They can call me at 786-291-7448, or they can visit my website and leave their contact information at dianaaldereguia.com.
.com. And Frank, your books are here, but where else can people find the information?
My website, frankarofolo.com. They're on Amazon and online, Barnes & Noble online, Books A Million online, or you can email me at frankarofolo@gmail.com.
And they're right here at the studio. Anything new happening from when you did the book show in Wellington?
I'm probably going to be doing another one with them. She said she's going to have more, and she said she's going to contact me, so I'll probably be doing another one. I'm going to be at a event tomorrow. I'm going to have a book signing at the North Beach Gallery in Fort Lauderdale, and then I'll be on the show. I'll be on the Borough on Friday.
And if
What time tomorrow?
What time tomorrow? 6 to 9.
6 to 9.
At the North Beach Gallery on 33rd Street, right north of Oakland, off A18.
And if people want to self-publish a book, can they contact you?
I can let them know. Contact me.
FrankARuffolo.com. And everyone's writing books these
gmail.com.
days. Self-publishing. Frank can walk you through the steps. He did a whole seminar and workshop on that at Read It, Write It a few weeks ago. A lot of great information. It doesn't mean you have to pay a publisher a whole... Good catch. A whole lot of money.
Great
Nice.
reflection.
Operation Retribution.
Reflex, I mean.
Check it out. First copy that sells here gets this beautiful painting created by Frank A. Ruffolo. And we've got this book as well. Nice catch, Freddie. Wow. Wow. Nice reflexes. And the water is still
I learned
there.
how to do that with the horse.
More to come. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Tonight at 6:30, tune in for Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here at the studio. And we will see you tomorrow. 9 a.m. drive time.
And as always, don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.